First item, call a meeting to order. Second item, roll call, please.
Alderman Bass,
Here.
Alderman Cleaver,
Here.
Alderman Headley,
Here.
Alderman Knox,
Here.
Alderman Mills,
Here.
Alderman Stratton.
Here.
There's a quorum.
Next item, invocation by Daryl Jones, Crossroads Church, followed by Pledge of Allegiance, led by Alderman Rick Knox.
Let's pray together. God, we're undeserving of the freedom and the liberty that we have. There's nothing in and of ourselves that guarantees us this. We know that the beautiful place where we live, the freedoms that we have, the liberties that we have, they are given by you through grace and your mercy. So we just pause a moment as we transact business under those freedoms and liberties to thank you for it. Thank you for the free country. Thank you for what we get to enjoy, the things that we own, the variety, the places we get to shop and do business and move freely about without any restrictions. And God, I just give you thanks for that. I thank you that I live in the United States and not in so many other places where I could have been born. And I thank you for this city. I thank you for this board, our elected officials, our mayor, our city staff, our volunteers. We just give you thanks for them tonight. God, I pray a special blessing, continued blessing on Mayor and his family as they continue to grieve their loss and go through that hurt. And God, just tonight in this meeting, as business is transacted, I pray that each individual will remember that they're part of a collective as a board, and they've been elected to serve in the interest of our citizens, in the interest of our community, and not in the interest of themselves. So God, I pray that level heads would prevail. I have no idea what's on the agenda, but the level heads would prevail, that pride would be put away, that we would humbly serve those that we've been called to represent. That will be done for the good of the community, for your glory, and for the good of those who are your children. In the name of Jesus, we pray.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item, approval of agenda.
No changes, Mayor.
Next item, proclamation, seeing none. Next item, citizen participation. If anyone would like to address the board, please step forward. State your name and address and limit your comments to 2 minutes, please.
Is something that has been concerning us for several months. And why do that? And before I do that, very quickly, we are letting hearing rained out because in looking for a place to live, we found this to be the city that the neighborhood, and of course in South Bend, to be very well maintained. It's neat, and it's a mix of ages and so forth, and it's a very pleasant place to be. And the place that we live is in an area of Kansas City that we have higher crime. We had houses that were falling into disrepair, but they would have the Memphis and border on houses and those kind of things. So we're privileged to be here, we're glad to be here. But the issue what this leads me to is that there's a situation going on with one of the neighbors here. And it has to do with parking and regulations and parking issues that is this. And one is that one of the neighbors is using our street as a storage place for trailers. He appears to be having a, for lack of a better definition, running a car repair shop from his garage. And he'll bring in a trailer, he'll have a car, truck, and other things on it. And it'll sit there for days, weeks, before he actually either works on it or removes it. That's been going on since, basically for over a year. We became concerned enough about this because it's not the kind of neighborhood that we feel like we want, and I'm pretty sure it's not the kind of neighborhood that Green Valley wants to present. Because you could, at times, you could drive by our house and it looked like a parking lot for a car repair shop. So, anyway, at that time, we became concerned enough with that. And I contacted Aldermen. Use your first name.
I know, it's okay, it's okay.
And asked, what can we do about that? What are the regulations? And she was very kind and looked into it, and police responded to that, and they were told to move the stuff, get it off the street. And that seemed to work. There were no more problems then until July, I guess. Yeah, July. I mean, the trailers that I'm talking about is not the little small box trailers or a little one axle trailer. They're not the kind of trailers, but these are big. They're either a big box trailer or else they're a trailer large enough to hold trucks. One point, one thing he brought in was a trailer full of rusted out farm equipment. So anything and everything seems to go. We had talked with him when we first moved in here a few months afterwards, and told him basically that the small trailers, some of those things, we're not going to complain about in that regard. But when it grows to the point that I'm looking at trailers that are commercial grade trailers, maybe enough to hold road equipment almost in some cases. Most of these trailers are not his. We do know that he has one trailer. But most of the trailers are not even his. It's like a client comes, brings a trailer. They unload it at his house and we back it up and park it on the street. We're on the dead end part of the Leanne Street. So that's kind of the scenario I'm talking about. Then he started parking back there again in July. I brought it to his attention that our understanding was that you were asked not to park your stuff back by our house. And where these park is adjacent to our property. And they got kind of upset with us because they moved the stuff. And I think maybe somehow the police perhaps were involved. Then in July, also in July, and not long after that, they were angry with us for making us move and that main law or anything like that. I might have been angry as well. But they came over into our yard, confronted us verbally, got on my face. They were accusing us of calling the police every time you didn't like something. They accused us of why are you in this neighborhood? Why did you buy in a family-friendly suburban neighborhood like this? Basically, you're too old to be there. And the old part, he was right, but the rest of it, he did. So, and that ended in, basically, he was behind me, we're gonna do what we wanna do, and why don't you just leave us alone? So my comment, when I told him at that time was that we want to follow the guidelines that the ordinances and so forth that Green Valley puts out. And then may or may not be in our favor, I don't know. You know, I understand the ordinance and I know very little about it. But we want you to follow those same things. You've been asked by the police department twice to move your stuff, and you're still doing it. He's doing it again. And this time, he thinks, I guess, it appears that he's gotten around the ordinance or what the police have asked him to do, because somewhere in that ordinance, and I've read it, I don't understand the legalities of the ordinance. But there's statements in there that a certain type of vehicle can be parked for so long in a certain spot before it has to be moved. And I guess there's at least two things involved in that. One would be the big trailers, one would be a truck and a trailer parked on the street. All of this, I'm talking about adjacent to our house. So now what is going on, and we feel like there's some two of them perhaps that we've been being harassed with imperfection, not serious, hard, that's going on. So, whatever he believes, I believe it's a 48-hour or 2-day period that the big box trailer can do. So he rates all us to the limit of the 48 hours, moves it, doesn't take it anywhere, doesn't use it for work, just takes it across the street and then backs it right back in and leaves it in a different spot than he left it the first time. And that's been going on now for 3 times that it's been going on. So, it's a little tense because the anger is powerful, but we continue in this stuff. Basically, that's all it is. You don't even look at it. And we have tried to talk to them at different times, but the result is always the same. We're going to do what we want to do. So I don't know where this leaves us in terms of what he cannot do in terms of this equipment. And that's out of my department. But anyway, what I would like to see happen is some sort of a resolution to this. Because one, it's extremely disturbing to my life and and it's getting to the point it's hard sometimes to relax in your own home because you don't know what kind of shenanigans you're going to pull out when they're going to move these trailers in and out. And usually when he moves them, it's at 9 o'clock, between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. So there's a truck going back and forth behind our house. Our family room and our bedroom is almost, often, I would say. There's not a schedule, but often what's going on. So I don't know. We're here tonight to present this and ask that there be some type of a resolution reached. We've thought of different things, and I don't know what we're working on. One of the things I thought about would just be, because it is a dead-end street, that there be some type of a no parking regulation, or no parking regulation with exceptions to it. For example, you could exclude the neighbor who isn't doing this and just make it no parking one way on our side of the street. We're okay with that. That would be the case. Again, I don't know the legalities of what really happened there. The other thing is that's been equally as distressing is that we've had police officers out probably 5 times for different things the night that he was verbally assaulting us. Other times we just say, he's been asked to move the trailer. We usually get feedback from him. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? So one of the things what is happening, and I think what is causing that is nothing wrong that the police officers are doing. Nothing to polite. You can tell, they're trying to do their job the best they can, but what it does show is that it somehow, there's these messages going out there. He can park this stuff there, he can't park this stuff there, he can this period of time, he can't this period of time. And those issues are out there. One officer told us, and I would agree, I think this statement is right, that there do appear to be some gray areas in enforcement of that particular ordinance. Again, I'm not a judge of that, I'm not a police officer, I don't know. us to say, that's it. These have been nothing but nice to us. We appreciate that. But that's where we are tonight.
So Gar, I might be able to help take it from here just a little bit. I did ask him to come today because he hasn't reached out to me every time something has happened because you've told me things tonight that I didn't know. But he has reached out a few times and then recently, and then just this past week with the newer issue. So I told him, we have a meeting on Monday if you'd like to come and speak before the board and, kind of share what's been happening. We would have our department heads there, our city administrator there, and maybe we could all come up with an idea or something to solve the problem collectively all at the same time. So I didn't know if it would be possible to maybe have a study done by our city engineer in that area and see if there's any signage that could go just on his side of the street. Where they are at a dead end of Leanne and Nelson, and then at the end of that dead end is a fence, and then there is the backyard of houses on the back side of that. So if there were to ever be an emergency behind them, and there would be no access to the homes, like fire trucks would not be able to get back on that street, because the neighbor across the street, I believe, has their own pickup truck parked, right? And then the neighbor from Caddy Corner across the street has been parking the trailers, so there's no way to get through in that area. But I would, if it's possible, I would like to request that some type of study be done, if the rest of the board is okay with it, by the city engineer to maybe do a no parking sign or something of the sort, and just kind of see what his study would find.
No, I mean, it's something we can, I know PD has gone out multiple times. I don't know what the status was the last time, but maybe we can have our city engineer look at it. I mean, the one thing I would caution when you sometimes think that a no parking sign is going to stop something, especially on one side of the street, is there is still the other side of the street, and you can't tell someone that you can't park there because it's not your house, kind of a thing. It can't only be parking for, like, say, the person that lives there, if that makes sense. It's all public right of way, so.
Right.
I mean,
Or
we can
then
look at
maybe
all-
too, the ordinance needs to be revisited, because it is, if 4 different people are coming and they're all having different interpretations of what the ordinance says, then to me, that shows that there's some gray area in the ordinance. So,
Well, we can have Chief go look, because I'm not exactly sure what that gray area would necessarily
don't-
be. I think it's more just the fact that,
I think
It's
that
when the
gray
time
area is
kicks
that
in.
48-hour pause.
hmm,
Well, he's obviously read the ordinance and he knows that if you move it, I mean, he's skirting it, he's abiding by it, but doing everything he can to abuse it. And it's very difficult to legislate against that. I mean,
But-
there was one thing that concerned me that we will look into that really has nothing to do with the parking that I think we can address. But we will look into it and see what we can do with it.
yeah, like I said, I mean, we can have our city engineer get with police officers that have gone out there and have them get together and see if there's something that makes sense to go forward with.
Well, and is there if it's a commercial trailer, is there an ordinance with
Well,
commercial type
on-street
equipment
parking
or
stuff,
vehicles or?
it has to do with weight, so.
Well, the other question is he running a business out of his garage and
That's what I was concerned
being
with.
licensed and, it's not even allowed.
I would say that it certainly appears that that's what he's doing. Because he will bring in a trailer, it's one that's sitting out there now. And he'll offload something at his house, and he brings the trailer and parks it over on that street adjacent to us, but that's the fence where the dead end. And it'll sit there until at some point he does something with the fiberglass system that he tells him. That has been the normal thing. I don't know. It sure looks like there is an effort to do some sort of a kind of business. Times that end of that street was not, it should have been on beside a auto repair shop. Not a retailer, somewhere on the street. Thank you.
We will check into it though.
Thank you, Gar.
Any other comments? Seeing none, move on to consent agenda.
Mayor, I move we accept the consent agenda.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Knox. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, previous business, liquor license, Nicotra Vineyards.
This is the second presentation for this liquor license, for a wholesale liquor license for Nakatra Vineyards. Mr. Nakatra is here again this evening if you do have any further questions that came up from last time. The application was received in good order and reviewed by the Chief of Police, and was also found to be in good order from him. Tonight, we're requesting a motion to approve that liquor license.
Any discussion? Seeing none, move on to liquor license class.
Need a motion.
I thought that was on for a motion.
This is our second.
That came later up.
We're voting on that already. Oh, okay. All right, need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, liquor license, Class I addition for Captain's Pub LLC.
This is also a second presentation. This one's for a temporary liquor license class, I for Captain's Pub. It's for a specific event on September 11th. They're planning to host that vendor fair in their parking lot from 11 to 5 that day. Everything has been received in good order. It has also been reviewed by Chief Beal. We're requesting a motion to approve that temporary license for Captain's Pub tonight.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Knox, second.
Second.
Second, Alderman Mills. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, new business liquor license, Agaves.
Agaves submitted a, yes, submitted a liquor license application for a wholesaler license as well. The application was received in good order. It has been reviewed by the Chief of Police and approved by him. The second presentation will be at the next Board of Aldermen meeting. That's it.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, move on to presentation. Seeing none, next item, public hearing, property tax levy.
Mayor and members of the board, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Craig to go over this.
The public hearing this evening is considering the 2021 proposed property tax levy, which is 15 cents lower than last year. We have 4 levies that fund general operations, parks and recreation, public health, and the general obligation debt service that must be set by October 1st. We did include notice that was provided in the Examiner for the public hearing that is being held this evening. Some of that documentation was included on the dais this evening. That includes what was run in the Examiner last Friday, as well as some of the information on the amount of revenue that it's projected to generate. Overall, the total will be $1.4494 per $100 of assessed valuation.
Additional comments? Seeing none, I'll open this up for public hearing. No one wishes to address it. Close the public hearing. Next item, resolutions. Resolution R21-49, a resolution authorizing the allocation of City of Green Valley 2001 Emergency Management Contribution to Central Jackson County Fire Protection District.
Mayor, I move we accept resolution 21-49 as read.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Bass. Any discussion?
Mayor and members of the board, as you know, we're part of the Central Jackson County Emergency Management Agency, which is us, Blue Springs, Lake Tapawingo. This is our yearly contribution to that group. So this was a budgeted item, and so this was just the yearly resolution approving that agreement.
No further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, Resolution R 21-50, a resolution by the Board of Aldermen of the City of Green Valley authorizing the city administrator to sign agreement with Navigate 360 for workplace safety training.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve Resolution R 2150.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second,
Alderman Headley. Any discussion?
Mayor, members of the board, this is an agreement that will provide workplace safety training, both from an online platform as well as some in-person training. This will be for all staff.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, ordinances.
Bill number B2118, it's an ordinance of the City of Grain Valley, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials.
I move that we accept the second reading of bill number B21-18 and approve it as ordinance number 2553.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Knox. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Bass,
Yes.
Alderman Cleaver,
Yes.
Alderman Headley,
Yes.
Alderman Knox,
Yes.
Alderman Mills,
Yes.
Alderman Stratton.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-0. Next item.
Bill number B2119 is an ordinance of the City of Grain Valley, Missouri approving the final plat of Rosewood Hills 11th plat.
Mayor, I move that we accept the first reading of bill number B21-19 and bring it back for its second reading by title only at our next regular session.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Alderman Headley. Any discussion?
Mayor and members of the board, I'm just going to let Mr. Trozen just give a brief overview of this.
The property owner and developer is L&B Development. The property is zoned District R1, single-family residential. This final plat contains 29 lots and 2 tracts, E and F. This is a part of the preliminary plat that was approved, phases 10 and 11, by the Planning Commission on November 20th, 2019. The 10th plat was recorded on June 8th, 2021. And that consisted of 42 lots. The Planning and Zoning Commission reviewed the final plat at their August 11th meeting and recommended approval. Staff also recommends approval of the final plat for Rosewood Hills 11th phase.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify, whoops, did I get a second on that? Yeah, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying nay. Motion carries 6-0. Next item, city attorney's report. Next item, city administrator and staff report.
Start with Chief Beal.
Mayor, Board, I just want to make you guys aware that on August the 26th, we're having our next community forum at 6:30 p.m. I think this second forum is really significant because it concentrates on drugs, illegal drugs, prescribed drugs, and we've had some incidents in our community. So you guys can come out to the First Baptist Church to support this event. I definitely appreciate it. The other thing that I have is that we have a Citizens Academy coming up. It'll start September the 14th through November the 23rd, and we're actually taking applications for that right now. So if you guys can spread the word on that also, I'd appreciate it.
And Mr. Davies.
Mayor and board, just a reminder that as of right now, the Green Valley Aquatic Center is open on, it's usually around this time of year that we just have open swim on the weekends due to college and high school age kids going back to school. That's predominantly our lifeguard staff is that age group. So this past Friday was the last weekday that we were open during the week, and then here through Labor Day, we're just open on the weekends. And then, of course, Tuesday after Labor Day is when we have our dog swim, and that kind of wraps up the pool season for the year. One other item, and some of you all may recall, back in March, April, May of last year, when the pandemic was and our community center was closed down for a period of few months, we were really looking at ways to keep the community engaged and active. And one of the games that one of our employees come up with, or a program, included or incorporated people utilizing the Blue Branch Creek Trail and being outside and being physically active and family oriented. And that was a game called Clue. Most of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the board game Clue. It's a murder mystery game. That was something we implemented last year on Blue Branch Creek Trail when a lot of the park and rec facilities were closed down that families could do. It was pretty popular. We had quite a few people solve the crime, and I believe it was our park and rec staff were the quote-unquote suspects of this game. We're getting ready to do it again this upcoming Thursday, but this time out at Butterfly Trail. And the only reason I mention it tonight is that the suspects this go around is all of you. So just to FYI, all of you will be your picture. They're on 5x5 cards. We hide them around the trail. They might be stapled to a tree, taped to the backside of a park bench, on a stake in the ground. And in essence, families walk the trail, and there's a list of suspects, weapons, which weapons are usually a fishing pole and a baseball bat or a barbell, something Parks and Rec related. The locations are usually a park or facility here in Green Valley. But as they go through, by process of elimination, they figure out who the murderer was, what weapon they used, and at what location. And I can't give away which one of you is the murderer. I know this is being taped, so. But anyways, if you get any calls or any emails or anything about that, I just wanted to give you all a heads up.
Are there any criminal penalties that go along with this?
We already heard about Tom.
That was all for staff comments.
Next item, Board of Aldermen reports and comments. Alderman Bass,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Cleaver,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Headley,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Knox,
Nothing, sir.
Alderman Mills,
Nothing at this time.
Alderman Stratton.
Same for me.
Mayor's report, nothing, no comments from me. Again, well, I am very appreciative of all the concerns and comments I've gotten. That being said, there's no need for executive session. Meeting adjourned.